So,
So,
two naked Asians. Really naked.
we're back. I'm in the back.
Cheers. We're
Cheers.
we're back. We're back.
Hmm. Fuck, I miss Japanese drinks in convenience stores. So much to
Yeah,
choose from.
yeah. But now there's this like stupid trend of lemon sour. So if you go there, they have like 10 different lemon sour.
Why is that bad?
I don't want any fucking lemon sour. I want ume sour, but I went to the first store and they had like 30 or like 20 different lemon sour. So I was like, I fucking hate this place. So I went to the other place and they had this, but they didn't have the long size. Although they had like 20 different long size lemon sour. I was like, I want the long one. Anyway, I got the two of the small ones, so. And I got a bottle of shochu, ichiko.
It just goes to show that you can't have it all, even when you're in Japan with 20 million.
I can't have anything. It's always the wrong thing they have. There are so many stuff, but they don't have anything that I want, which is good because that way I don't have to spend any money.
I think when you have everything that you want, then it's a bit scary.
Yeah, I mean, if they have everything I want, then I will have to buy them. So I will have to spend money. So I'd rather go in and be like, look around for 15 minutes and be like, they don't have anything I want, and I walk out. That happens so often. I walk into a store and I spend like 20 minutes. I look at everything and I'm like, I do not want anything they have, and I walk out.
But I do the same in Japan, especially because here I don't even go to the shops because I already know that they don't have options.
Yeah.
But in Japan, I go to the shops, especially the highway convenience stores, the stops.
Mm-hmm.
They are so good, and they're 24 hours. And I go in and I look at everything, and I never buy anything. But I'm not upset. I just go, wow, that was very interesting.
Yeah.
And I keep going. I take a break.
Yeah.
The most random things like, oh, you want some Hokkaido cabbage that is done in this most traditional way from this family for 500 years? And I'm watching this video on how they make Hokkaido cabbage. And I don't buy it. And I go, that's nice. And I leave. But I love it. I have a good time with it.
That's true. Convenience store. I hate convenience stores, but they do have random things.
I would love to, you know how people always ask other people in another country to buy something for them?
Yeah.
This kind of stuff. Oh, you're in Canada. Buy me this Canada thing.
Oh, I hate it when they do that.
Because Japan, but you know what I would want really a lot from Japan?
Yeah.
Is the 7-Eleven white t-shirt, like underwear.
Why?
It's cheap, but so good.
Really?
Yeah, it's really good quality.
I should
And it's
try.
it's like 500 yen or less, 400 yen, I don't know.
Really? I should try.
Good fucking. Because I was traveling, I was living in a van and I didn't have anything. And
But
then
you like the shape of it too? Is it good?
yeah. It's very standard.
That's
Like,
good.
but 400 yen, you can't complain.
Yeah, that's good.
So, I'm having a bath because the movie is also a little bit about bathing.
Ah, yeah. The opening scene.
What did you think? What was your reaction?
Oh, I mean, it was really, really long and slow. It makes a strong statement that's very meaningful, and I think we should appreciate movies like that.
But
But for me, I live a very slow life. Like I sit and do nothing and watch things for hours. So for me, personally, personally, I'd rather sit outside and watch things and do nothing than seeing it on the screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I can imagine, like, if you're like obsessed with like moving forward, getting things done, if you want something quick, and if you tend to spend your days having so many things unnoticed, maybe it's a great experience to sit and really, really pay attention to somebody doing nothing and realize that it takes that much patience.
Yeah.
Like, you need to really, really look, or like, watch somebody to have an idea about a person,
Mm-hmm.
or life. So that's the thought I had.
Yeah.
The massage scene
Yeah.
was weird because I felt like the guy was like massaging me. Like, it was physical. It was a physical experience.
Oh.
That was powerful.
Wow.
Also, like, I felt him rubbing his body onto mine. You know?
Wow.
I mean, didn't you feel the same?
I mean, well, complicated because, I mean, where do I start? I mean, no, but okay. So, so the thing is about this kind of massage and like tantric massage and erotic massage and intimacy. I think I'm a bit spoiled with it.
So you had a similar experience as mine in a different way.
Yeah, I think it's I don't have a problem with it. I just think like, yeah, I mean, normal.
Yeah.
So I don't. It's not something exotic that if somebody else, I think it's like, would a Buddhist monk watch a movie about Buddhist monks?
Maybe.
I don't know. Do monks really like to watch movies? Was it considered very non? Okay. You know what my mom said? My mom said that
Monks can do anything. Yeah.
Yeah, but my mom, she wanted to be a writer her whole adult life, right?
Yeah.
But then she told me that she stopped being a writer or stopped her ambitions to become a writer because she discovered Buddhism.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
I can understand that. Where's the need to write,
Yeah. But I mean, I think I get it from a more like a theological discussion and philosophical, but I have my suspicion that it's also a convenient thing to say as an artist.
Yeah.
Like, I can imagine to say something like that as an artist and say, oh, I've discovered God, so I'm not going to work on my next film.
Yeah. Cause writing is so fucking hard. It sucks. It's painful. There are millions of reasons to quit writing. So how nice would it be if enlightenment was the reason for you to quit writing? It's like, great, I'll take that.
Not enlightenment. Writing is like sitting in the shit and fucking suffering.
It's like giving yourself some time to suffer.
Yeah. But I like it though. But I mean, Tsai Ming-liang, his writing, his script is also famous for, he just writes like, Xiao Kang goes to take a bath. Next scene. Like that's how he writes.
I would love to be in a movie like that.
Yeah.
It's I love the casting.
Yeah. I mean, the guy, he's always in his films, and he's always in this kind of he's just in his, one of the earlier films, this interview with the director, he said that he would go to Xiao Kang and says, why do you respond so slowly? Like, there's one other movie where the woman says something like, how are you, Junshin? And he's like, and then he goes on for 5 minutes before he says something, and then the director was kind of annoyed, like, come
I
on,
like that.
how do you respond? And it's like, but
I
that's
like
how I
that.
normally respond.
I like
You
that.
know?
It's like a presentation of how people could be and maybe should be.
I mean, I see more of those people in Asia.
Oh yeah.
Like, I know people like this, and I remember there was one guy I knew in Thailand, and I was really young, and I was about to go to some party, and he's a big Buddhist guy,
Yeah.
and invited me to some Buddhist art show thing. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was in Bangkok, and he gave me the instructions, but I couldn't really understand it because Bangkok is so confusing. So I asked him again to tell me, and I was so stressed because I was already late and I was young, and he was like, "So you can consider to take this," and I was like, "Tell me the." I was. It was killing me. It was so slow. Everything this guy did was so slow.
Yeah.
But there are some people like this.
I have a friend like that, actually, my elementary school friend. You would ask him a question, and there's this like long silence. So you would think like, oh, he's asleep. But then after a long while, he's like, maybe it's because of this. And I know, oh, he was thinking all this time.
No, but the massage thing, I liked it because it's so, like you can watch porn and you don't feel anything.
Mm.
And this, for me, is like the film itself, the whole film is in a way more real than a documentary. Even
Yeah.
though it's not a documentary, but somehow it's more documentary than a documentary.
Yeah.
I feel like they're really just doing what they do. And what I find interesting is also if you read the description of the movie, I'm a bit wet, so I'm not going to pull it up. But they skip away the fact that Xiao Kang goes to Thailand and enjoys some prostitution.
Oh.
And they just say two men have their things. Xiao Kang has some back problems, some physical
Yeah.
pain, and Anon, he's cooking food from his village.
Uh-huh.
And none of that is not true, but they avoided the fact that, for me, a big part is the fact that they have a sexual monetary exchange,
Yeah.
and that it's so normalized.
Why did they do that?
Well, I think it's because people are super sex negative and panicky about descriptions. Which I like the fact that the title of the film is called Rizi, Days, and it doesn't say like my film. My film is almost the opposite, doing some self-promo, where I say this word sex party in the movie, but then there is no sex. His film is there is no sex in the title or the description, but then actually the whole climax of the thing is about, but it's also not about it, which I find very beautiful because it's, it normalizes just the banality of it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I do wonder what it would feel like in today's climate if Anon was a woman or if Xiao Kang is a woman, like just to play with gender. What would it look like if we look at a white woman or a black woman going to Bangkok and with another sex worker and just normal, like just a massage, bit of hanky-panky.
Oh my god. That's gonna be weirdly, that's gonna be a totally different thing.
Yeah,
Wow.
I think that's really
So
interesting.
interesting. That is interesting. Because the film is about homosexual, there's no intercourse, but, sexual pleasure between men.
Yeah.
But in a way, I just like pictured like the guy who's paying replaced with a white woman, and somehow it's more controversial to me. It's more shocking to me.
Yeah. Well, there's that film.
There
Yeah.
will be more of a. I'm seeing more of an exploitive element in there.
But I think this is what's really interesting because let's say what is the exploitation, right? We can discuss. Okay, there's like geopolitics, right, and economics, status, caste.
Yeah.
But in Asia, this happens also. But I think it's the way that we are prepared to say and see, oh, colonial background and blah blah blah. But the thing is, the guy's coming from Taiwan, right? And the guy is in Bangkok from a village, or his background. And so that there is a colonizing effect there also. But somehow we are more ready to let that by or somehow exoticize or, I don't know. Also, I think the combination with homosexual exchange between Asian men, somehow we put it on a different understanding when we don't think about white colonization. And I think that's also a bit of a bias. Which,
bias,
you know that film from Ulrich Seidel, Love, I think, I forget what it's called, the one where the white woman, she's also overweight, and she goes to Kenya, and she has sexual exchanges with a black man. And a lot of people can't watch it, but even though it's very real as well.
Oh my god. I mean, what you just told me is like, makes me feel very, I'm not sad, but we have so much prejudice around sex, yeah?
Yeah. I think, and
sex should be like a sacred place where we can just drop all the bullshit and be like a human and a human, you know? Like a body and a body, in a personal, intimate space. However, somehow all these shit kicks in.
But that's almost the thing that makes it extra spicy and hot.
If you learn to enjoy it, I think I am more of a. Some people, I think people who's into like who are into like role playing or like, you know, like there's a history of like switching that power dynamics in like a situation, like a sexual situation. I never enjoy that, you know. Like I don't like being dominated. I don't like dominating. I'm very like a lovey-dovey, like, you know, cuddling is almost better than intercourse kind of guy.
How do you say? I feel like this kind of asexual Japanese modern man.
I'm not asexual. My sex drive is very high, but I guess if there's
So you're telling me there's no power dynamic between you and your partners?
If there's any fetishism there, it's like a fetishism, pretending to be innocent kind of fetishism, because I'm not innocent, you know.
That's crap. This is just, you're not really naked. This is the polite Chinese that is saying.
I'm not, like, I don't want to be asexual, but the asexual element is somehow kind of like, I don't know, like.
I don't buy it. You're just being polite.
No, what I'm saying is, some people find it hot, you know. I think those who say things like, I want to be fucked by certain race, or like people who are like obsessed with like certain age difference or certain power dynamics, which to me looks like they're trying to recreate some relationship from the past, recreate a fantasy that never came true to fulfill the unfulfilled desire or something.
Yeah, but I'm very dubious about this because
okay.
I've heard this from many different people, and I've seen different people doing different things, and some of the things that makes me really dubious about it, and again, what should I know? Like, it's really difficult to get all the data.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I know also people that in the BDSM scene that says, I didn't really have this kind of dynamic growing up. I did it. I
Uh-huh.
just like it, but it's
Uh-huh.
not something that I'm recreating. And who knows? Maybe they're in denial. But there was one woman I talked to. She was a psychologist, and she was saying to me that she didn't really have all of the. It's something that she learned and she can enjoy. And because I also hear this in Germany, where this is another thing I think about. Is BDSM more prominent in Germany than other countries?
Mm.
I'm not sure. I don't know. But from my personal experience, like, I do feel this.
Mm.
When I'm in Asia, I feel a different kind of sexualness.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's not that I don't have sexual feelings, but it's very different. I feel much more calm. Like, this thing in Japan that I feel a lot when, and correct me if the statement is out there, that I hear that in Japanese society, outside of the bedroom, you don't talk about this stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
inside the bedroom, anything is possible.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's I think that's what people say, you know. I think people here or people who talk about Japan, they talk about like oppressed sexual desire or unexpressed sexual desire, like kind of like coming reappearing in a situation in a kind of crazy way because it's been suppressed. But I believe what you said. Like it doesn't have to be recreating the past. You know, I can see that. Like it's not coming from the past, but and I think children do that. No, they want to create a hierarchy. They want to.
Yeah.
I think that's how people organize as a group. They want to create a hierarchy, a power dynamic. Somebody's stronger than me. Like somebody's protector, and you give something in return. Like I remember as a child, like in kindergarten, like I was a very unpopular, crazy child who would always like fight the white kids, like fist fight with white kids every day. Okay, but there was this like a little older white kid who wanted to like taste my snack, my like Japanese snack, and I gave one to him. And from that day, I had this like 7 like days of like the miracle days where he was my friend. This popular white
Ah,
older brother figure was my friend, and like you know he was nice to me. It ended in like 7 days, but
what
that was
happened?
like I don't remember, but I think he didn't like that to be seen as
Ah,
a friend of mine because I was a really unpopular, very aggressive, violent child.
yeah.
Like in Hawaii, you know, like there certainly was that like power structure with the white kids and then the Asian kids. Like this one Asian kid who lived next to me, like we were best friends from like before kindergarten. And he would be my friend on Sunday, but once we go to school, like he wouldn't talk to me because he's with the white kids. And then on the weekends, we play together again. That was my childhood. But
Yeah,
like, I remember, like instinctively, I craved for a stronger figure. I craved to have somebody I can. And I don't think that came from like family stuff, you know. I think it's kind of like, it was more like an instinctive stuff.
there's also societal stuff and intergenerational stuff.
It's very hard to tell. I was like 5. I wonder like
Hawaii is not without complicated history.
I have I don't know. I feel like it was more like an animalistic thing.
Yeah, also.
Wanting to be in a certain power structure, you know.
I don't get the sense from you that you don't have power dynamic desires. I think it's more that as an adult,
Hmm.
you learn to be more like it's an aspiration to be more neutral, which
Maybe.
I mean
Maybe.
that's what I say for myself. Like, but I
Yeah.
fully see that I have a very difficult time to be. I can be submissive, but it's difficult, and I want to. I need to have someone very dominant that can challenge me intellectually, spiritually, physically, for me to accept it. If it's someone who's just very weak and very insecure and tries to dominate, it makes me extra angry.
Ah, I can relate to that.
Yeah. But if it's someone that really understands something or knows what they're talking and has experience or power, then I'm like, well, respect. Like, I can definitely give space for that. But if it's someone that doesn't have the, why should I treat you with respect if you don't have any, rank on that? So
Yeah, you know, I fucking hate like clueless older guy telling me like what I should do. I'm like, how dare, like, just because you're older than me, you don't get to tell me, like, you have no idea.
well,
but
because
then but then I do have this desire of like one day meeting this like a master figure who would
uh,
be like, who would just tell me what to do. you know?
you're waiting for the right one. It's we should cue like a romantic thing, like waiting for your
It's
princess.
like, I'll do anything you tell me to do. Like, take away my like self control and like,
Yeah, but that's kind of BDSM stuff, right? Like someone that can. I mean, I felt like this too with rope. Like if someone who doesn't know how to ties me, it's really annoying. It's just shit. And if someone is really a master, they don't even have to do much, and I feel that I can give in and very much submit and feel at peace, and feels very good. But I think in Asian languages, it happens in like some European languages, but they're kind of reducing it. But in Asian languages, you have a lot more the hierarchy within the language, right? Someone who's older than you,
yeah,
you automatically have to respect them.
yeah.
And I think that's really frustrating if they don't earn it.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
But it's difficult. Anyway, I don't know how this has got to do with the movie, but
It will. It does kind of. I
oh,
mean, you know that moment where the paying guy is counting money? Like, he takes his time to count all his cash. That has something, there's something there. Counting, that's the sound of counting money.
the movie next week, I don't want to spoil it for you.
Yeah,
But
don't tell me.
there's a discussion with that too. But for this one, I'll just say that I also have a lot of respect for this director and this actor because I've watched all of their films. I really respect what they're doing and love, and so
I do too.
somehow I'm easy like because there are other films that are slow or might deal with the subject, but you can sense and feel that they don't really know what they're doing,
Uh-huh.
and then it's annoying,
Yeah.
So I've been having a lot of difficulty with some films where it's like I try to criticize it,
Yeah.
but as soon as I think about those things, I can think of another example where it's exactly that, but I don't have a problem with it.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah, no, it's well thought out. The
Yeah.
each scene has a very significant meaning, almost like a piece of painting, which painters sometimes spend days to finish, or months to finish one painting because everything has a meaning.
Mm.
It's like the guy who gives the massage, he's like being a shopkeeper, but he's just like standing, and you see all these people ignoring him because all they want to look at is the clothes, you know? Nobody pays attention to him. And he's like standing, and then he takes out his phone, and then it's a very familiar scene. And
Yeah.
I've been there, and I'm also the person who doesn't take a glance at the guy, you know. And then you see everybody passing him without even noticing him. Like that has a very strong, meaning.
And I think for me, the powerful thing of then they have the power dynamic of the sexual exchange, but there's the before and after. Before, where you see them living their own lives, and then they have the exchange, and then after they have their own. And it's you can. I really feel like I could be both of those people.
Yeah.
And it's not. In some ways, they are living such different levels of existence.
Mm-hmm.
But in another way, it's also just life, like nothing that special, which somehow makes me feel that this is a very special experience.
Yeah, it's easy to judge, and be like, oh, prostitution. But it's how they met, and it's how they relate to each other, and it's kind of like portrayed in a positive way. No, because it's like, it's kind of sweet, no? Like what they experience in the
Yeah,
I
and I
don't know,
think
the
it's also
shower scene and the
how do you feel as an actor? We speak about the honesty and like
I
the
want to be
confidence.
I would love to be in his film, and I wish people appreciate here. The funny thing is, I saw the Rotten Tomato like a rating, and it's really high, right? Did you see?
Yes.
It has a very high rating, and it was played at the Berlin Film Festival, and it won like an award.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine, like, I can't think of anybody who would want to see this movie. So I'm like,
Really?
why does this? I like it. I like it, and I want to make things like this. But I feel like whenever I make things like this, I'm like, but nobody wants to see this. It's
Okay.
my issue. It's my issue.
No, but
Like,
that's a really good point. I think that's a really, really good, honest point. And okay, so this is an ongoing conversation that I have with a lot of frustration with people. Is that when you talk to people, there's a kind of like, oh yeah, this film we like, this kind of thing we like, we want to do this, we agree, right? Then you start working, and then suddenly it's like, no, but we can never do that. Actually, Wood, that's crazy. And you're like, but we all agree that we like that.
yeah,
And then suddenly it's like, no, but that's that. And I think with this director, Tsai Ming-liang, I've heard people also say, yeah, but that's Tsai Ming-liang. He can do that. And I'm like, well, why can't anybody else do that? And this, it doesn't stay with just this subject and this movie. I've experienced this across so many other projects where it's the fear. And at the same time, I also suspect that when he's working, now he has a bit of a reputation, but think about from the beginning, I just think like it's about having a small team and you just do it anyway. You just do what you want to do. And yeah, I find also the critic, this like Rotten Tomatoes and all these other ranking sites to be very funny. Like, I think this film also, it's like, I don't know how many films, it's like the 10th or more films. He's also said before he's going to retire, and he just came back and did another one. But I think people really, really love it by this point. He's really found his niche. But I wouldn't say he's famous in Taiwan necessarily. I asked my parents if my parents are not art film people, but they've heard of him, and the only response they said was, "Oh, I've heard of his name. Isn't he gay?" That's the only reaction they had, and most people don't have any clue about things.
yeah.
So I think rankings are just stupid. I saw another film recently. I don't know if we can talk about this film maybe another time, but it was one of the I heard this film recommendation from Zizek, and
What? Really?
usually I like his analysis on films, but I wouldn't say he likes just to analyze with his Hegelian Marxism.
He said he's not criticizing film. He's using film to make a
Yeah.
point.
Exactly. And a lot of times he doesn't even watch the movie. He just uses the plot to talk about it. But then recently he saw this film that he really loved. What is it? State something. Fuck. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna talk about it. Which I fucking love, but it has the worst reviews across the board. Everybody hates it so much, and I was like, holy shit, this is one of the best films I've seen this year, which is still early. But yeah, really surprising.
Yeah, no, you cannot trust those reviews. I check the reviews because a lot of times what I like, they don't match with the reviews. So
Yeah, well, that's good.
but this time it made me happy that the movie had good reviews, high rating. But then I wonder, who are these people who give this movie good ratings? Like, I don't know these people, I don't think. Or maybe there are people who appreciate those things, but maybe I'm
Okay,
too,
you know what's my other concern
yeah.
is that the reason some people like this film is because they're othering and exotifying, orientalizing this director and this film. You know, it's like
It's cool to like this guy.
yeah, it's cool to like this guy. I mean, that's also very trendy nowadays to be something that is very meditative. Asian men and whatever.
Everybody loves the word minimalistic.
But I mean, no, I think I think that's not the only reasons. I think that for me, there's a lot of genuinely good qualities. And what he represents as well, of course. But I do wonder about. I mean, I like doing these. If I have a bigger channel and people give a lot of money so I can make random film ideas that I come up with on these talks, I would love to just remake certain things and playing with gender and identity, right? Do exactly the same movie, but with a white woman and a black man, and then another one with a black woman who is the shopper, and then a white man that is in some poor white country or something, and do the same setup.
For me, I think it's the ultimate goal to make something like that and really succeed. And when I say succeed, I don't mean like a commercial success, but really make it like alive and like engaging. It's difficult. And I'm always scared that I'm too boring on stage, you know? So I'm coming from my own insecurities. When I do a play, I do in such a minimalistic, like, I don't even change any lights, you know. I invite the audience and I just tell them where the bathroom is, and I tell them I'll start in 3 minutes, and I start. And it's just me. There's no props really. And I just like talk for an hour, and I just tell them thank you. And everybody leaves. And I had people who really liked my play, but I never believed their voices. I'm always like, no, it was really boring. It was really boring. So when I see this movie, like that kind of like fear of being boring, I think I project a little bit while noticing like successful moments, like things that's working, and also hoping that people realize how profound this and meaningful this film is. I think that's my experience with the movie.
I think that for me, the film functions exactly that. Like it's a inspiration to remind even for me that you can do that. You don't have to be afraid.
stupid musics and gunfire and like ship sinking and then a heartbreak and
Yeah.
somebody's cheating somebody and all these. I've been very busy. My life has been so crazy. I worked at a hot spring spa. I worked so hard that the nail of my, what's the finger? Like the foot toe. My toenail came off because I worked so much.
No.
And then
Disgusting.
the day I finished, my grandma died. So I went back to Hiroshima, and then there was the ceremony, and the day after ceremony, there was the meeting, and after the meeting, it's like rehearsals after rehearsals after rehearsals.
Oh my god. You didn't tell me that.
Oh yeah, I didn't. I didn't really tell
Anyone.
any people.
Yeah.
So overwhelmed.
Yeah, you must be so overwhelmed.
So fucking overwhelmed.
Fuck.
I'm going to disappear after this play, but
When is the play playing?
end of February. If
Oh, wow, that's so long.
if any of our audience lives in Tokyo, please come see The Robbers by Friedrich von Schiller. It's a German play. Have you read any Schiller script?
Yeah.
Have you heard of Koide Keisuke?
No.
Yeah, he's a famous Japanese actor. He's in it. So
Okay.
if you like Koide Keisuke,
Well, if you're watching this from Japan, I'm going to release my my film with Andre officially online for Valentine's Day. It will be an anti-Valentine movie, and yeah, so people can pre-order.
you have to put in sound effects.
Yeah, like confetti.
Yeah.
And yeah, so you can pre-order the subtitles in Japanese and like 32 languages or something. A lot.
Holy shit! So who managed to do that?
The computer and some helpers.
Holy shit!
But
Congratulations.
probably it'll be very weird, the subtitles. It would not be your standard for sure.
So it's like AI.
Yeah, but it's good enough, I think.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, Ayoto asked me to do it, but I gave him a very long no. It wasn't a no. I wasn't trying to tell you no. I was just warning you that it's gonna take.
Yeah, I said, okay, I think I do it myself. Now you can watch it and complain that the subtitle is shit, and maybe if we
if you don't like the Japanese subtitle, that's my fault. Because
Yeah,
if I have done it, it would have been fucking fantastic.
yeah,
But I said no because I hate myself being like the translator Junshin is like I don't like him. Like
Yeah,
he's very
yeah.
difficult to deal with.
it's good to not bring that out into the relationship.
Yeah. The translator Junshin should never come out to this world again.
No problem. We'll yeah. So February is a good time to watch more stuff, and
Yes.
we'll be back.
Yeah, same time next week about the next movie. The
Oh,
other
nice.
movie. Give us comments, give us questions. We
Yeah.
love you.
Yeah, we love you. Send us comments. Keep them coming. And,
Thank you for watching.
Yeah.
Two Naked Asians still alive.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Feel like